Greetings to all those spiritual seekers out there. Welcome, welcome. For those embarking on the spiritual path, the questions often that arise are, is there a guide? Are there teachings about the journey that I'm about to embark upon? What is the way? In the realm where wisdom meets the sacred, three ancient texts stand as beacons of light, guiding seekers through the labyrinth of existence. Many may wonder what the difference are between these great works. That is a question that I would like to shed some light on today. Together, these texts form a triad of spiritual guidance that transcends time and culture. They challenge us to delve into our inner landscapes, fostering a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos. Today's topic will be a presentation on the written works of the renowned scholar and spiritual teacher Eknath Easwaran. I specifically chose his works for the depth, poetry, and just sheer beauty with which he's able to describe the mountains and valleys of the spiritual journey. My only wish is that this is a good choice. Born in 1910 in Kerala, India, Eknath Easwaran was an influential spiritual teacher, author, and translator, known for his deep insights into the spiritual texts and his innovative approach to meditation. He authored over 30 books on spirituality and was praised for his clarity and depth. I believe his unique contributions arose from his understanding of both Eastern and Western minds. So, with that, let's delve into his work. Imagine a vast hall in Anglo-Saxon England, not long after the passing of King Arthur. It is the dead of winter and a fierce snowstorm rages outside, but a great fire fills the space within the hall with warmth and light. Now and then a sparrow darts in for refuge from the weather. It appears as if from nowhere the sparrow flits about joyfully in the light and then disappears again. And where it comes from and where it goes next, in that stormy darkness, nobody knows. So Eknath Easwaran describes this situation or this scene and likens it to our lives and suggests that this story is an analogy of how we spend our days in the familiar world of our five senses. But what lies beyond that, if anything, we have no idea. Those sparrows are hints of something more outside, a vast world, perhaps waiting to be explored. But most of us are happy to just stay where we are. We may even be afraid to venture into the unknown. What would be the point, we wonder? Why would we leave the world that we know? Yet there are always a few who are not content to spend their lives indoors. Simply knowing there is something unknown beyond their reach makes them acutely restless. They have to see what lies outside, if only, as Mallory said of Everest, because it's there. This is true of adventurers of every kind, but especially of those who seek to explore not mountains and or jungles, but consciousness itself, whose real drive, we might say, is not so much to know the unknown as it is to know the knower. Such men and women can be found in every age and in every culture. While the rest of us stay put, they quietly slip out to see what lies beyond. Then, so far as we can tell, they disappear. We have no idea where they've gone. We can't even imagine. But every now and then, like friends who have run off to some exotic land, they send back reports, breathless messages describing fantastic adventures, rambling letters about a world beyond ordinary experience, urgent telegrams begging us to come and see. Look at this view. Isn't it breathtaking? Wish you could see this. Wish you were here. The works of these great texts, these great works, are amongst the earliest and most universal of messages like these, sent to inform us that there is more to life than the everyday experience of our senses. The Upanishads are the oldest, so varied that we feel some unknown collectors, or collection of collectors, must have tossed onto a jumble all the photos, postcards, and letters from this fantastic world that they found, without any regard for source or circumstance. Thrown together like this, they form a kind of ecstatic slideshow, snapshots of towering peaks of consciousness taken at various times by different observers, dispatched with just the barest of explanations. But for those who have traveled those heights will recognize the views. Oh yes, that's Everest from the northwest. Must be late spring. And then we're in the south, in the full snows of winter. The Dhammapada also is a collection. It's a collection of traditional sayings that's attributed to the Buddha, one of the very greatest of these explorers of consciousness. In this case, the messages have been sorted, but not by a scheme that makes sense to us today. Instead of being grouped by theme or topic, they are gathered according to some dominant characteristic, like a symbol or metaphor, flowers, birds, a river, the sky. But it makes it easy to commit to memory. If the Upanishads are like slides, then the Dhammapada seems more like a field guide. This is lore picked up by someone who knows every step of the way through these strange lands. He, the Buddha, cannot take us there, he explains, but he can show us the way. He can tell us what to look for, warn us about missteps, advise us about detours, tell us what to avoid. Most important, he urges us that it is our destiny as human beings to make this journey ourselves. Everything else is secondary. The third classics, the Bhagavad Gita, gives us a map and guidebook. It gives us a systematic overview of the territory, showing various approaches to the summit with their benefits and pitfalls, offering recommendations, telling us what to pack and what to leave behind. More than either of the others, it gives us the sense of a personal guide. It asks questions and answers questions. It asks and answers questions that you or I might also ask. Questions not about philosophy or mysticism, but about how to live effectively in a world of challenge and change. Of the three, it is the Gita that has been the personal guide of Eknath Easwaran. These three texts are very personal records of a landscape that is both real and universal. Their voices passionately human, speaking directly to you and to me. They describe the topography of consciousness itself, which belongs as much to us today as to these largely anonymous seers thousands of years ago. If the landscape seems dark in the light of sense perception, they tell us it has illumination of its own. And once our eyes adjust, we can see in what Western mystics call this divine dark and verify their descriptions for ourselves. And this world, they insist, is where we belong. This wider field of consciousness is our native land. We are not cabin dwellers born to a life cramped and confined. Instead, we are meant to explore, to seek, to push the limits of our potential as human beings. The world of the senses is just a base camp. We are meant to be as much at home in consciousness as in the world of physical reality.